Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. In this my episode 3 of making my Pinterest portraits. I make this trouser you're seeing. Just in case if you're interested on learning how to make the kimono I'm wearing right now, just click on the link above. The video above is showing right now and you watch it. But in today's video, you'll be learning how to draft this trouser. So at the back it has elastic band, at the front it does not have elastic band, so keep on watching. So to start making the drafting of this pattern, you're going to draw a straight line and then you're going to measure the full length of your pants. It's 52. Then you're going to add half-inch seam allowance for the hemming at the bottom. So that is what you're going to do. That is the first thing you're going to do. Then you're going to draw a straight line. Just rule a straight line across it, both the full length and also the extra 1 inch hemming allowance you added to it. Then after doing so, you go over to the waist. From that waist, you're going to mark 4 inches. This 4 inches you're marking is where you're going to put your front crush extension. So you mark this 4 inches from the up down to the full length and you draw a straight line across it. Very, very important that you mark this point. So this is me marking across those lines so as to get a straight line in order to join it from the waist to the full length or from the full length to the waist, whichever side you decide to start drawing your line. So that is basically what I'm doing here. Then after marking it, the next thing you're going to do is to start marking your points. So from my waist to my hip is 9 inches. I'm just going to mark it here. This is so I'll enable me get a straight line. Then from my waist, then I draw a straight line across it. So this is my waist, this is my hip line, because I drew from my waist up to this point. This is my hip line. Then from now we're going to get our crouch line, and to get our crouch line is my hip divided by 4, hip divided by 4, my hip divided by 2, sorry, and my hip divided by 2 plus 2 inch extra allowance. So my hip divided by 4 is 11.2, 11.3 plus 2 inches allowance is going to give me 13. So this point is 13. So just mark your measurement and extend it. And when you come to the crush line, extend it onto that 4 inches allowance that you gave in the starting point. So now I'm labeling it my waist. This is my hip. This is also my crouch point. So sorry, it's not showing. This is my crouch line, and then my full length. Remember, to get your crouch line is your hip divided by 2. Please take note. Your hip divided by 2 will give you a crouch line point plus 2 inches joining allowance. So now we're going to get our circumferences. So my waist circumferences divided by 4 is 9.5 inches. So this 9.5 inches, I'm going to add 2 extra inches. Then for my hip line divided by 4, adding 2 inches extra allowance. So that is exactly what I'm marking. You divide your hip by 4, add extra inches, 2 inches. Then when you come to your crouch, first of all, we want to get our crouch extension, and my crouch extension is my hips divided by 16. Then that measurement, that measurement I placed on this place on my hips, I'll also place it on my crouch line. Remember, take that same measurement you have on your hips, place it on your crouch line. Then for our front crouch extension, it's my hips divided by 16. I have 2.8, but I approximated it to 3. So that was what I marked. Then I'm going to connect my hips to my crouch and to my waist. So that is basically what I did here. So from this point, I will measure my crouch line. you can measure only the crouch line, or you can measure up to the crouch extension. Place whatever measurement you have on this. So what I have on my crouch line is 14, so I'm placing 14 inches on this full length of my trouser, the hemming point. Then I'm now going to connect from this my full length to my crouch line. So that is basically what I did. Then also I'll come over to this place and also draw from this point. This is just to basically connect that my hip side, the seam sides, then connecting everything together. Then also what I have in that my crush extension, I'll also place it on my full length. Remember what I have in that my crush extension was 3. Remember your crush extension is your waist, your hip divided by 16. So what I had there was what I placed on my full length, and now I'm connecting it from that full length to that crush point. This is just to get a straight line. So that is basically what I did here. Just if you are confused, just pause the video to watch it slowly, or you can ask me questions. I promise to reply or answer any questions. Please do well to like and subscribe as well. Then this place you come up by 1 inch, and then this is for you to get a good curving for that, just in case you want to do freehand, or yes, just come up by 1 inches and then connect. Then for this point, we want to get the center part for the slashing method for this split. So we're going to get the full measurement starting from this crash place. Get the full measurement of this, and we're going to divide it by 2. That is the half measurement, and the full measurement here was 17. 17 divided by 2 is going to give me 8.5. So that's because the crouch line and this down part is also the same thing, or if it's not the same thing in your own measurement, just find the full measurement, divide it by half. Then after dividing by, this is for us to get the center point in order for us to slash. Then connect it starting from that crouch line down to the full length. Then to get the center point for the waist, to measure the full length, and also remember my waist full length. My waist full length is that 9.5 plus 2 inches is 11.5 divided by 2 will get the center point. So I'm going to connect it from my waist to my what? To my crouch line. So this is a sign of using scissors to cut. So right now I'm going to add ½ inch for the joining allowance. For the joining allowance for my waistband. Yes, that is what I added here. So I'm going to basically start cutting now. Then after cutting, remember in your waist, you're going to come down by ½ inch, because your waist has to come down. You have to come down by what? By 1 inch, and then I have to add back my ½ inch seam allowance. So that is what I added back here. So I added back my ½ inch joining allowance, and then I'm going to cut it out. Then when you're done with that, we're going to put our front pattern on the black pattern, and we're basically going to trace out all the lines. That is what I'm doing here. So I'm tracing out my waistline, I'm tracing out my crush line, and I'm extending it. Remember, for your back piece, also leave like 4 inches at the back, because you're going to have your back extension. And for my back extension, crush extension is 2 inches. Then coming over to the hip, what I added there was 1.5 inches. So for the crush line, back line extension, what I did was 2 inches. For the hip line, that point, what I did there was 1.5. So I'm going to connect it with my curve ruler, and then I'm going to take my straight ruler and connect it to my waist. That is basically what I did here. So guys, just if you have any questions, do to ask me. I promise to answer every questions and to answer any question. And if you like this video up to this moment, please do to subscribe, like, and share. Then what we're going to do now for this back extension, we want to put our measurement on our full length. So what I'm going to do is measure your crouch extension of this back. Take it and then place it at the full length. Or you can just do this, your crouch extension was 2 inches for the back, just place it along the side to just get a straight line. Or you can just go back, measure your crouch full extension of the back, then place it on the full length. Or you can just mark your extension line you did for the back onto this back pattern pieces and then connect it. That is basically what I did here. Then I'm going to cut it. Then also, please, I forgot to do this in these places. For the back has this extension up, so I went up by what? By 1 inch. I went up by 1 inch. So please do well to add your 1 inch before cutting. So that was basically what I did. So now I'm slashing the inside, and you can see I did not slash up to the edge. I stopped. Then I'm going to show you what I did for the back, because the back has elastic and the front does not have elastic. So for this front pattern, now you see the way I slash it, and this opening is 7.5 inch slashing distance. Then for this front pattern, I do not slash it up to the waist, because this front part will not have elastic. But if your front, you want it to have elastic, you can just slash it and open it. So you see the back has elastic, so I still maintain my 7.5 distance, but because it has elastic, I slashed it up to the waist and I expanded it by that 7.5 inches. But if you do not want your back to have elastic, do not slash it up to this waist. Just do it the same way you did for the back. So that is basically what I did here. Then moving over to the sewing process. First of all, we're going to start sewing the crouch, starting from the waist and stop at that crouch curve. So this is after sewing it. Then after sewing it, we'll be sewing the back and the front crouch together. Joining it together, sewing from the up down to the full length. So this is what I'm showing you now. So I'm going to sew from this crouch down to the full length, and from that crouch down to the full length. Then I'm going to sew from this crouch down to the other full length, the two pieces front and back together, because I want to join the both of them together right now. So this is what it looks like after sewing it together. So this is the crouch after sewing it together. They are both equals. Then right now we're going to sew the hip sides, starting from the waist to the full length by the 2 inches sewing allowance, joining allowance. Remember, in this we gave 2 inches joining, 2 inches by the side. So we're going to sew it up by that 2 inches joining allowance. So after sewing it, you see that your front piece is smaller than your back piece. Why? Because in your front piece you do not slash to the end, but in the back piece you slash to the end and you gave 7 inches between. That is because we're going to add elastic to it, so do not be bothered by those differences. The front part is going to be smaller than the back part. This is only if you're adding elastic, but if you're not adding elastic to the back, you're going to have the same thing. So this is it after sewing the side seams together by those 2 inches we gave it. So this is what we have. So right now we're going to start drafting for the band. So what I did here was to put my hips, my front measurement together, and then the back measurement together. So from my front point to this point is 9.5. That is exactly my normal hip, my normal waist measurement. Then measuring from the back to the other edge of the back, what I have is 17 inches. Remember, we added, because it's going to have elastic, we're going to use elastic band to put it together. So this is me practically showing you how it is. So you see the front part is smaller. This is the front panel part, the one I took measurement of 9.5, and this is the back point, point. So the back point is 17 inches, and then the front point is what, 9.5 inches. So to start drawing our waistband, I will just draw a straight line here and also here. And remember, when we measure my waist front was 9.5 and back was 17 inches. So what I'm gonna do here is, so from this point I'll mark 9.5, and from here I'll mark 17. I'll mark 17 here. Then I'll draw a straight line up here. So here is the front. So here is the front. And here is the back. So what I'm going to do is to mark. So from here, I'll mark 0.75 off. 0.75 above this line. Then I'll curve it from that line. I'll curve it from here to the center point. So this is it. So I'm gonna mark my band height. So my band height is 1.5 inches. So I'm gonna mark 1.5 inches here. This place. Then 1.5 here. 1.5 across. 1.5 here. Also 1.5 up to this place. We'll mark 1.5 and 1.5 up to this place. .5 here. So we're gonna connect it. So 1.5 here. So I'll come to this front because I want this front to connect very well, to lap very well my waist. So I'll come in by 0.75. 0.75 is here, and then I'll connect it to my waist. This is for it to lap very well on my waist. So the next thing I'm going to do is just to add half-inch allowance. You can add it on your fabric or you can add it right now. So I'm adding it right now. So I'm just going to add half-inch allowance, except here I'm not adding half-inch here. For this round I'm going to add half-inch. Even the top I'm going to add half-inch. Half-inch. I'm just going to add half-inch till I get to the extreme end. Half-inch till I get here, and then I will connect it. Add half-inch to this place. Then I'm gonna cut gonna cut now. So this is after fabric, after cutting it. We have the same thing here, from this place to this place. We have the same thing. So right now I'm gonna press iron this place to be very flat, and then I'll come back and show you. So this is after ironing it. So I had to go and cut so a band for this. This band is 14 and 14.5 inches. Yes, this is a band for the back. For this band, I'm gonna join this two by half inch. Join it by half inch. So yeah, I'm attaching my band. I'm gonna attach it all around and sew round this down part to the what? To the waistband. So this is after sewing the. So after sewing the down part, we're going to now bring it down and sew the other side of it. So you see the way I'm taking this one inside and I'm placing this one down, and then I'm placing it down to cover that stitch, and then I'm going to fold it in. This is to cover the stitch so that it will be clean, because I'm going to sew from the front, so that I'm sewing it will hold down the back part. I don't know, just in case if you don't understand what I'm saying, just go back, you see. Then I'm going to sew up this front place so that it will hold the back. I'm going to stitch up the slit line so that it will hold the back. So that is what I'm basically going to do round this front part. So that is what I'm doing, putting the seam inside the first seam I sewed, then bringing this one down the waistband and folding it in order to have a clean stitch and top stitch on the front part, in order to have a clean stitch. So this is after sewing the front part. You see how clean it is. This is just the front part. Then after sewing the front part, then we're going to move over to the back part. The back part, which is, first of all, we're going to find the midpoint of this. Also find the midpoint of the waistband. We're going to measure it, find the midpoint of it, and also mark the midpoint on your waistband, and then place it and sew it. And also, whenever you're sewing your elastic band, always use a zigzag stitch. This is to allow you to stretch, because when you use stretch stitch, the stretchiness of those fabric will not be. So this is me after stitching it down in the middle part using a zigzag stitch. Then I will take it and I'll go to the edge where I stopped in the front. I'll place it there, and then I'll also sew it using, put it inside, also sew it using a zigzag stitch. Please take note, don't use a stretch stitch, it will restrict the flexibility. Then go to the other points, use a zigzag stitch, and then I'll turn it and close it up. And as I'm sewing it, I'm stretching it. As I'm sewing it, I'm stretching it. The reason why we did this is to have an equal distribution of this rubber band, because if you just put this like that, so this is after ruching it, putting the elastic and sewing it up, you see. And this is the front. This is the front part. So this is what the trouser looks like. Do well to subscribe if you like this video, and also do well to ask me any questions. I'll be in the comment sections to answer all your questions. So the reason why I love this style so much is that even if I add weights, I can still wear it because of this elastic at the back. So see you guys on my next video, and bye.